Yeah, no kings. Oh, except for that one time when the kings told you to stay inside and put on masks and get vaccinated, and if you didn't, then we would find you and get you fired and watch you get torn away from your family and loved ones and not say goodbye to your dying loved ones. And I'm starting to get confused.
I mean, he does have a point. You can say no kings when in all honesty you do have a king, right?
You will be the soldiers of World War III. I'm talking to everyone in a NATO country between the ages of 18 and 26 years old.
No the hell you not. Who the fuck is he talking to? Cause I'm not fighting that shit. Better yet, why don't you hop in the mix, Gramps? Where the fuck is your ARP at? You not just finna direct some shit and then be kicked up in the crib? I promise you, if the United States government forced me in there, I'm leaking all kinds of intel. You not just finna force me to do something I don't wanna do and we just gonna be cool after that? I didn't go over there and disrespect them niggas. Y'all did that. Rip them off will not be at your service, my nigga. You better go ahead and go call Youngboy and them niggas.
Yeah, that might be the future, especially when they were saying that the European country is going to help Ukraine. I'm like, woo, so that might be the future of my kids? I'm like, hey man, miss me with that. Miss me with that. If my kid wanted to fight for Spain, I can understand that. But to go fight for another country that doesn't want peace in any specific way, and usually they kind of sabotage it consistently, keep asking for money, and whenever we want transparency, we don't really get transparency, but you want to use my kid to keep the transparency, maybe. I don't know what the heck is happening with women's basketball, but the only reason it's getting so much attention is because these girls fight so much. And at first it was more like the ladies with more skin color were like glang, glang, glang. But now we got white ladies doing that. And now we got white ladies attacking the white ladies.
Yeah, it looked like Caitlyn got hit hard.
Did you see that, man? Yo, lady, I got your back. I might be bald, but I'm... Yeah, I bet this lady wasn't saying, hey man, I prefer a beer over a man.
I'm not mad at that bear. I'm not mad at that goddamn bear at all.
If you're feeling anxious too, you can pop along with me. Even though I am feeling anxious and I'm frustrated at myself for feeling this way, you don't feel anxious. This is not at all how I feel. I know that anxiety is not actually anything wrong.
Not all therapists are like that, but if you stand the rise that everybody has to go to therapy, maybe they might not have enough therapists, and then maybe anybody can be a therapist that read a manual at a school or a Google Translate, whatever, you get my point. But remember to subscribe.
My first therapy session, because the demons finally won. I found this girl, we jumped on a call, and I really liked her. Like, we got along immediately. And then it wasn't until the next day that I looked her up. I did some research, and I found out that she was 23.
Okay, you can say it's a troll. You can say it's fake. But I would not be surprised that this is the new normal, because everybody these days are advocating for this. I went to therapy and the therapist told me, how are you doing? And I explained something. How are you doing? And I explained something. How are you doing? Then I explained something so beautiful that I wanted her to believe that I believed. And she stopped asking me that question. But then I believed this layer so much that I went depressed home, and my wife wanted to stop me.
A little more anxious this evening, so I'm just noticing that. I had a few minutes between clients and I accidentally really triggered my nervous system and my wounding because I found myself down a rabbit hole of looking at someone's Instagram that I shouldn't have.
Not all of them, but you can have people very functioning that is an adult and that is your therapist, and tell you I'm not in the right state of mind, but we're going to continue. I don't know, maybe they might copy your issues.
That it's sometimes polluted by scientific fraud, where data, analyses, conclusions, and even research participants have been created out of thin air. They simply don't exist.
So either it's not working or they run out of money. But the thing is, I don't know a lot of therapists that say, hey, I kind of cured certain people. I don't hear that a lot. Usually they keep coming. I do hear that from doctors. And whenever I see a never ending of something keep happening, I know somebody is going to make sure they can earn money with that.
You should not be in therapy for an extended period of time. And I'm a therapist that's saying this.
I'm Dr. Joseph Wittering, and I run the world's largest practice dedicated to helping people come off psychiatric medications. Psychiatric medications, these are not a cure. They do not fix any kind of chemical imbalance. This is just marketing slogans, not scientific fact. In fact, the way these drugs work, every single one of them, is by masking the symptoms that the person is experiencing.
It's not that medicine is bad. It's just that before we reach the gangster cases, there are mild cases that can be handled differently. Backed by National News Today, a large analysis of meta-studies finds that exercise is more beneficial for conditions such as anxiety and depression than the standard psychotherapy or medication. So I will post the link so you can read it yourself. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying maybe we should exercise more before we add all the other stuff that might make a lot of people rich and you a lot of little poor.
I love crying.
Crying could be a way to experience more joy.
Crying is actually really, really good for you.
Because I cry every single day of my life.
I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not surprised you're always sad because it's normal for you to cry and be sad.
So I was a therapist on BetterHelp for about 3 months. BetterHelp encourages therapists to have up to 50 clients in a week.
They need to do better. They really need to take care of their staff, take care of their clinicians, right? And not have to see 10 to 12 people in a day. That's crazy pants.
It's kind of tight. I don't think that's even possible because the therapist that I see, it's like 1 hour. That's a lot of stress on the therapist.
Also, the incentive is for therapists to treat the least sick for the longest period of time. That's the incentive. Because you don't want the schizophrenic patient who really needs you.
Right.
They're really hard to treat, right? You don't want the bipolar patient.
Right.
Some people will refuse to see those patients.
And that makes me think, do you really want to help the people? Or do you want to help yourself feel good that you are helping the people that least need it? But it feels also that people that might need it less, you medicate them as the patients that really need it that you don't want to help. I'm not a doctor, but the math that I'm hearing, if that was true, I don't think we're doing it effectively.
So for a long time, especially in psychology and in life sciences, people were just like, I would do a study, I would report whatever I want to report in a paper, but in reality, this was just a fluke, and no one is going to replicate it. So people are going to base their work off of my fluke.
270 scientists from the reproducibility project Psychology took on a huge task. Rerun 100 studies that had been published in 3 important psychology journals. And by 2015, they had replicated all 100. And of those 100 replications, only 36% resulted in any significant results. And for that 36% that were replicated, the effect sizes were on average half of what was originally reported.
So the studies they said that was amazing and they got good result. When other people did the same thing, the result was different. What do you want me to say? I'm not a psychologist. But if people that are studying psychology says we can't replicate what our colleagues are saying, maybe there might be an issue with psychology.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Butta fire na mi blonde, kush hash purple skunk, criollo colombici jam jam, dur loqueta verdetta welcome.